Hey, my beautiful, beautiful people. How are you? This is Carla with Trust the Process. I know this thing is blocking me. How are you guys doing? I pray that everyone is having a blessed Sunday, a blessed week, upcoming week. I pray that everyone has a blessed upcoming week. Of course, guys, laid it on my spirit today to talk about the transformations that we are all going through. If anything that we can take from the experience that we're in right now with COVID-19 is this is a time of transformation. The transformation is it's usually not as easy as we think it's going to be. And transformation is never going to be easy. It always takes a lot of work. It always takes a lot of focus. It takes a lot of time and learning how to have patience with ourselves. And that is one of the things that I have been guilty of, not having patience with myself. Learning how to grow through things, especially growing through, of course, being a widow, growing through the next stages as a mom with 2 adult sons and 3 teens. This stage is different. Learning how to let go of things that no longer serve me. Learning how to, teaching my children how to let go of things and to start fresh. Sometimes the fresh starts are crazy at first, and then you start to gain your balance and as you go through. I know that for me personally, with all the ebbs and flows in my life and the different with the experiences and stuff that I've gone through, if anything that it has done for me, and that is strengthened me. Every human has moments of weakness, which I do have at times, but I've learned how to push through those weak moments and just say, you know what, I have to do this. This has to get done. I am praying for everyone to have that strength. Praying for everyone to get that strength, because there are days when you just don't have it and you're like, Lord, how am I going to get through this? He hears you, he knows you, and he knows you're going to get through it. And so when he puts a task in front of you, when he puts an obstacle in front of you, it's because he knows that obstacle course is made specifically for you, and you are the person to do the job. And so don't demote yourself when you're being promoted. That was God. Don't demote yourself because you're being promoted. And so promotion comes in ways that we don't expect it. Promotion comes with a lot of stress, a lot of responsibility, but we have to accept the promotion, accept the challenges that come with the promotion, and learn to manage those things. I am in preparation of a lot of things in my life. I don't tend to want to speed up my race any faster than it needs to go. There were times when I did. There were times when I was, like I said, not patient with myself. I learned that, the slow and the steady do win the race. And you're not burned out if you're slow and steady. When you're rushing and doing things too fast, you burn out pretty quickly. And working in healthcare for 25 years and experiencing, especially with COVID, the influx of patients, the influx of the way this disease was, the disease is actually affecting people mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. It's taking a toll on a lot of people. But those are the things that draw us closer to God. If I learned anything when I was going through, when my family and I were going through, my husband being, diagnosed terminally ill and having to face that reality that there was going to be a time when he was no longer going to be here with us. I did definitely learn that God doesn't put things in front of you that he knows you can't handle. He puts things in front of you that he knows you're going to be up for the challenge. He knows that you're going to have to find your balance. He knows that you're going to have to find your routine and your strategy that works. And so allow him to strategize for you instead of trying to find your strategy. Usually when we're trying to find our strategy, we destroy things, we mess things up. And so learning that our strategy is not always best and just stepping aside and letting the strategic mastermind do it for you is the best way to go. I've learned to let go of a lot of things in my life, a lot. And I learned that when I was holding on to things, they were just going away anyway because I was holding on too tightly. I was suffocating it. So eventually it had to free itself from me because I was suffocating it. So in this life, this new birth that God has given me, I allow God to take away what he needs to take away, because I know that when he replenishes it in a bountiful way. And so though it may look like at times I'm in a stressful point or I'm breaking down, I never allow myself to get to that point of breakdown, to the level of where I cannot function at all. When I see that coming, and it's happened to me before where I've reached a point where I felt like, okay, let's just give up. But that is exactly what that demonic side of your mind wants you to do, is to give up. You can't give up. You give up when your time is up. When God says time's up, that's when you give up. When you no longer wake up in the morning and are capable of getting up to do the things that you do on a daily basis. My job is to be a mother, to be a medical assistant to my patients, to take care of them, to love them. And my job is to be a friend, a sister, and a confidant to people that need that, an ear, So when God takes that away from, when God says it's my time to no longer do those things to serve others, then I stop. That means he's going to stop me. But when he puts me out there and he puts us out there to serve, we're to serve with a whole heart. We're to love with a whole heart. We're to open our minds to different people and different things and different experiences. And learning to accept people for who they are is one of the things that can open our minds even more to different experiences and different avenues in our lives. So today's main takeaway from what for Trust the Process today is trust the process of transformation. Trust the process of transformation. God is transforming us as a world. He is sick and tired of being sick and tired of us. And so he's transforming the world. So be open to his transformation. Be open to his love. Be open to his light. He will dispel all the darkness that is within you. He will open your heart, open your mind. He will open your mouth and your hands to give and receive love, knowledge, light, gratefulness. With all the challenges that I have overcome, because I like to think of myself. I know I'm an overcomer, and I know that I'm a warrior, and I hope that everyone that's listening knows that they're an overcomer and a warrior too. See, fighters fight. Warriors, they go into war, and usually it's not the war that we're thinking of as guns and things. We're in spiritual warfare. So we fight with we got the main person. We have the main person on our side fighting, right? So we know that he's standing right with us through every storm, every challenge, every disturbance. He's standing right with us. I could have crumbled and fell almost 8 years ago when I was sitting in that hospital room, that doctor's office, and my husband and I heard that news that this is it for you guys. Like, this is the last few years you're going to have together. I could have crumbled and fell, completely just died right in that moment. But part of me did. But then another part of me rose up to the occasion. It was the part of me that I didn't know existed, even though I was doing all of those things for my children and my husband as a wife and as a mother. But it was when that big challenge came up, that big fight, that big war that we had to fight together as a family came up, that we all band together. We kept our unit tight, and we did what we had to do, and we saw it to the finish line. And so I see how God blessed us even in that sad moment, even in that sad time, even in that heartache. He blessed us because we got 3.5 years to love each other, to fight, to argue, to do all the things that we did while we were married. We got to do them, and our children got to experience their dad. And so the peace that I have with allowing him to be free, allowing him to be in the universe to help my children and I continue on our journey, makes me happy and makes me feel peace, because the transformation process that I'm in now, though he's not physically with me, he's with me in the spiritual. And so I know that we do it together every day. And I know that our children are amazing people. We have teens now and one adult son from our marriage. And just looking at how responsible they've become, how loving they are, and how caring they are as children and as adults, I think that I know we did a great job. And I'm just proud of the family that I have. I'm proud of the family unit that was created through us, and seeing how it's flourishing, how our garden is growing. It's beautiful. I want everyone to just look at their garden every day and talk to it and love it. You're your own garden too. Talk to yourself, love yourself. Tell yourself I love you, and tell yourself you're beautiful. Remind yourself every day that your garden has to grow too, and that, you're the one that feeds your garden. You're the one that tends to your garden. And so tend to your garden. I know for women especially, we tend to always have to deplete ourselves for our children and for our husbands and, whatever responsibilities, our jobs and things like that. But take some time to tend to your garden. Take some time to focus on you, even if it's 2 hours. I had a friend tell me that the other day. Even if it's a couple of hours a day, take the time to do that. Take the time to love yourself. Take the time to pamper yourself. And trust the process of transformation. It takes you to places that you would never imagine. It opens your mind to things that you would never see yourself doing. Allow yourself to go to those levels and those heights. It's a spirit, it's not spirit, it's a time to evolve. It's evolution. And the more we grow, the more we know. So the more we know, the more we grow. Well, both ways, I guess. We can take it both ways. I can remember which one it was, but it's one of those. And aiming for perfection. We're perfect in the way God created us. There are always going to be tweaks and things that we need to do for ourselves to better ourselves, but we're perfect in the way God created us. And I love all of you. I want you to continue to trust the process. I trust it. Even on days when I look like I don't trust the process, I trust it. And I know that you do too. Trust in God. Know that He's holding your hand through every process, every trial, every tribulation, everything that we go through. Just trust Him. There's nothing too big for God. There's nothing too big. And I'm a living testimony of it. There's nothing too big. Coming from childhood abandonment from both parents, never really feeling like I was accepted, always felt like the outsider, always wondered where I belonged in the world. And so I can tell you that through those experiences and through all the things that I have gone through in my life, that I didn't know I was trusting the process at the time, but I was. And I am still trusting the process. And though it may not look like what I want it to look like in this moment, it looks like exactly what it's supposed to look like. Beautiful and honest and loving and nurturing. And that's what I want to see in it all the time. Even in those ugly moments, I want to just see that part of myself too. And I want to acknowledge the ugly, but I want to acknowledge the beauty. And a lot of times when we come from those types of backgrounds where, you know, we felt abandoned, we felt neglected, things like that. We never really can find the beauty because we're always trying to figure out, why did this happen, you know? Don't worry about the why, because the why is actually going to be the answer. Don't worry about it, because God already knows why. The answer to your solution is in the why. God did that for a reason. God didn't allow your parents or whomever to be in your life for a reason, because he knew that this reason is going to bring you to this conclusion. This issue that you look at as an issue is going to bring you to your final positive outcome. So it's not really an issue. It's actually supposed to be the way it is. Look at how strong you are. Look at how strong how you've overcome, and know that everything happened for a reason. And trust the process. I have missed speaking and talking to you guys. I have missed doing my videos. It's been a month. I'm gonna try to cut it down to every 2 weeks now, because I'm gaining a little bit more balance. And as I continue to gain a little bit more balance, it'll be more and more frequent, where I can do it weekly. But for right now, I'll do it every 2 weeks now. And as I continue to grow, I will continue to learn and teach. And then vice versa. You can teach me and I can learn. And we can go back and forth, okay? Love you guys. Trust the process. I have work to do. Have a great day. Enjoy your Sunday.